Welcome to my channel. What if I told you the one phone Samsung never gave the world is finally happening? And it's not just thinner, it's smarter, sharper, and might just be the foldable everyone's been waiting for. But there's one catch, and you won't believe what it is. Stick around. This is the Galaxy Z Fold 7. Samsung kicked off this whole foldable trend, right? They invented the category. The original fold? A bold idea, fragile as glass, thick as a sandwich, and felt more like a prototype than a product. But it was version 1. We gave them a pass. Fold 2? A glow-up. Bigger cover screen, cleaner bezels. Felt like a phone you could finally use without explaining it to people at parties. Fold 3 added water resistance and S Pen support. Not bad. Fold 4 made things a little wider, a little better. And Fold 5 finally closed flat. A small win, sure, but by now, the competition had caught up and, honestly, started pulling ahead. Then Fold 6 came along. Good? Sure. Great? When you stacked it up against phones like the OnePlus Open or the Pixel Fold 2, it still felt like it was almost there. But here's the thing. Samsung was quietly working on something else. A Fold 6 variant. Only released in South Korea. That was everything we wanted the regular Fold 6 to be. Thinner, lighter, bigger screens, smaller crease, better camera. Practically a dream device. But unless you lived in Seoul or had friends in high places, you couldn't buy it. And now, that version's DNA is being baked right into the Fold 7. The Galaxy Z Fold 7 is rumored to measure just 4.5 millimeters when unfolded. That's not just thinner than the Fold 6. It's 20% thinner. That makes it one of the slimmest foldables ever made. Second only to the Oppo Find N5, which is ridiculously thin at 4.2 millimeters. Now imagine holding something that thin with an 8.2-inch display inside. That's right, Samsung's going bigger. Some leaks say 8 inches flat, others 8.2. Either way, it's the largest inner screen Samsung's ever put on a foldable. Bigger than the Fold 6. Bigger than Oppo. Bigger than anything. And here's the kicker. The outer display is getting wider, too. Finally, no more typing on a screen that feels like a remote control. This time, it might actually feel like a normal phone when closed. If you've used a Fold before, you know the struggle. That tall, skinny cover screen? Yeah, it's iconic, but it's also annoying. You can't really type, and apps feel cramped. A wider display means easier texting, better video viewing, and less flipping the phone open for every little thing. The little valley that shows up right in the middle every time you open the screen. On the Fold 6, it was still there, still visible, still noticeable when you scrolled your thumb across it. But this time, it might be almost invisible. At MWC 2025, Samsung Display showed off a new prototype panel. One that minimized the crease to the point where you could barely tell it was there. And while they didn't officially say it's going into the Fold 7, let's be honest. If they've got the tech ready, this is the phone to launch it on. Now, imagine that, a massive 8.2-inch canvas, no visual disruption, and finally, feeling like a proper tablet in your pocket. That alone could be a game changer. Samsung might bring the same anti-reflective coating from the S24 and S25 Ultra to the Fold 7's inner display. That would make it way easier to use outdoors and dramatically reduce glare. Combine that with a smaller crease, that screen might look better than ever, even in direct sunlight. We don't have confirmation if it'll be on the inner display, outer, or both. But if it lands on either one, it's a solid win. The Fold 7 is expected to feature the same 200 MP HP2 sensor from the S25 Ultra. That's the best of the best right now. Fast autofocus, huge detail, solid low light. But here's the twist. Samsung might tweak the aperture slightly to f/1.8 instead of f/1.7. Technically a tiny drop in light capture, but in real-world use, you probably won't notice. Especially since Samsung's image processing is so polished these days. And that's the beauty of this setup. The Fold 7 will run the same Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 for Galaxy chip as the S25 Ultra with 12 GB RAM. That means Samsung can just drop in the same camera algorithms and image processing. Same sensor, same brain, same results. Ultra-level photography in a foldable body. Leaked reports also mention upgraded speakers, which is surprising considering the Fold 6 already had solid sound. But if Samsung's pushing for an immersive media experience, this makes sense. Big screen, better speakers, no crease. It's turning into a mini home theater in your hand. The biggest one, the S Pen, might be gone. to make the Fold 7 this thin. Samsung may have removed the digitizer, the layer that allows S Pen input on the inner screen. It's the same compromise they made on the Fold 6 Special Edition. No digitizer equals no S Pen. But there are rumors suggesting Samsung could be working on a redesigned S Pen experience, possibly bringing it to the outer screen instead. Or maybe, just maybe, a software workaround for handwriting input using the camera, or some wild tech we haven't seen yet. Point is, the S Pen might not be gone forever, just changing. The Fold 7 is still expected to ship with the same 4,400 mAh cell as the Fold 6, Fold 5, and even Fold 4. That's 3 generations with the same capacity. Meanwhile, the competition is packing 5,000 or even 5,600 mAh batteries in thinner designs. Oppo's Find N5 has both a thinner body and a bigger battery. So what gives? Samsung's playing it safe here. Maybe too safe. Charging also remains at 25W, while others are pushing 80W or more. That's a huge gap. Credit where it's due the Fold 6 had decent battery life despite its size. So, if the Fold 7 keeps that same efficiency, it's not ideal, but not a deal breaker either. There are still questions. Will it have S Pen support? Will the battery hold up? Will the price tag make us cry? But if everything we're hearing turns out to be true, this could be the foldable to buy in 2025. Does the Fold 7 look like your next phone? Are you okay with losing the S Pen if it means a thinner, sleeker device? Or is battery life still your biggest concern? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe.